Snowmeth. Ready to play some cards? Don't look now, but Ilo Storit Koniono just arrived. They are kind of a big deal. Sup, Bimoro 100.
Hi, everyone. I won't sit on that screen too long. But hello. Hello, hello. Hello, Snow. Hello, Door. Hello, Moru. Hello, Rose. Thank you for checking in. I do appreciate it. So. Bad throw. Hey, Top Hat. So, today, we are, as I am melting in the heat, and don't really have the brain to take control for myself, I figured I'd let y'all take control of the game. If you've not seen it, we do have this, it says there's an error. Where's the error? What do you mean I have an error? Run command. Oh no! One sec. I apparently... No, you didn't break anything. I don't have Python installed on this computer because I had to restart things. If you remember, I had to restart things. So this computer doesn't have Python, which is needed to run the way this works. So it'll just take a second. Boop. Do 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 do. Yep. Ba ba ba. Ba ba ba. Eh. Okay, let me check. Da, 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 da. Am I good now? I didn't test this part, and this is on me. Okay, but like you have it. Sorry, it's an issue with me getting having to restart my computer. This was an oversight on my part, and I do apologize. I'm apparently just having one of those times. Ba 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 ba. Okay, but I want. Where is it? Where is it? It should be installed. Do I gotta rerun this? One sec. Sorry. Hey OBC. I've run into a slight issue. And I'm trying to fix it. Open. Open. How do I fix you? How do I fix you? I need you. Uh-huh. Okay. But I ran you. It's like, yeah, you need to run the installer. Okay, I did. Why aren't you detecting it? Can I do... Oh. So I need... Oh. Okay. This is an unexpected issue. No, I want to run this. I don't know how to use the installer. I had Python installed before, so I'm very confused. Yeah, no, I mean, it just, it says I don't have the right Python installed, or now it can't find it. But now it's installed. But I don't know why it can't find it. Like, it's connected. Everything's there. Trees aren't necessarily endangered, but we are removing them at a rate faster than we are planting them, which is the issue, more than anything. Where? Or at least last I heard we were. Where is... Uh-huh. 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 Where? Where? How? Okay, I'm Googling. Alright, let's... I'm trying. This surely. Surely. There's a help thing here. Okay, it's not in the FAQ. That doesn't help. Oh, there's nobody asking questions. That's fantastic. What do you mean? Hey, bunny. Also, hey, elusive. Hey, Raxon. Okay. I hate that I gotta do this, and I apologize. It says go to apps. App execution aliases. And it's you? Will it work now? No, because I can't find it. I'm so confused. Why isn't this working? This is really annoying because this has worked before. So this is the thing. My computer is very lost in general because of other things going on. Basically a lot of my computer lost a lot of what it had when things transferred, but certain programs should have been fine. This is one of the programs that should have been fine, but it is missing part of it. So it's more I'm having trouble fixing the issue. It's not a matter of what the issue is. The issue is it can't find Python. I know the issue. And I'm not sure exactly which part of the issue is caused by what, right? So it's a mix of things. It's still technical difficulties because I am technically having difficulties. Regardless of how I go. Ow. Hey, Vividist. Okay, where are you? Because we are going to go... We're going to go in here and I'm going to find it. I already own you. I'm going to buy you. I'm going to download you again. Oh, you just got an update, too. Literally a day ago. That might help. So let's open your file location. Upgrade instructions. Okay. Right. Says I'll be fine. I'm hoping we're fine. Okay. Gonna remove this. And we open this. Do this. Run anyway. We're gonna get this. And then... And then... No! Why you no work? Like I said, I needed to complete the setup process again, but I didn't at all. Stayed. Okay, I am going to... I know! I really didn't want to do anything. I'm being bullied here, and it's sad. Okay, so I should be able to just do this. I'm gonna close that entirely. Gonna do that. and then I should be able to drag all of that in, and then drag that in, and then replace there. Okay. Okay. Click below to be taken to the site to download it. You can install using default settings, except be sure to click on... Yep. We'll go there. Okay. Download that. Download that. Open that. Do that. Do that. Okay. I don't think this is actually my fault, which is fun. Something is still wrong. You can install using... Okay, so I'm missing a thing. It needs me to add a thing. You can install using default settings, except be sure to click on add python.exe to path. Yes. How? Where? There's not a spot that says this. This is what's getting me. This program requires Python. Click below to be taken to the site. You can install using default settings, except be sure to click on add python.exe to path. Where? It's not on here. It's not on here. I'm looking.
Hey, player! You're really good at this game.
Am I? Why are you not? Them. Top at. My pronouns are they, them. Okay. This can be fixed by opening the manage and enabling the animating Python default and okay. Manage app execution is do. Okay. Okay. They're all already enabled, except for that one and that one. Oh. Oh. Maybe? Oops. I love that it gives me a sad face, like still not working. If items are already enabled, you may need to disable and enable them. If you didn't add Python to path during install, you'll need to do that now. How? How? You can install using default settings, so be sure to click add Python. I've used this before. This is what's killing me. We used it before. None of this was this difficult. Like, it all worked fine last time, and that's what's killing me right now. Launch the default runtime with specified options. This is the equivalent of the Python command. Yeah. But none of that is here. Like, what it's telling me to click isn't here. So I'm not sure what to do. Like, normally I would have a thing. Okay, let's try uninstalling Python. Let's start there. Okay, it's uninstalled. Now I'm gonna click this. Why do you think you're already installed? Huh? Huh? Why do you think you're already installed? Okay, there. Install Python. Okay. It is opened. I am looking at it. Add Python path. That's not here. Like, I'm looking at it and it's like it's just not there. And that's I hate this. I click continue and it appears to have crashed the program. Oh. Message not recognized. Got a ton of asterisks. Oh, now we're good. Okay. Sure. Now we're fine. Whatever. I'll take it. That was the program starting. I told it not to do that. No audio. There we go. Okay, let me pin this so I don't lose it. Close that. Close that. Go back to chat, I can see. Okay, it's working! Alright, everybody, you can play now. You can play now.
Bunny Mountain doesn't think
I
you
can't.
deserve this win.
I'm not the one
Time for
playing.
Menage.
That card won't do anything here, Bunny. I'm not the one playing. You are. You're playing, chat. I can't do that. Bunny, your chat! Oh, why didn't that go off? Okay, we're having a separate issue. It says it's connected. We're having a separate issue. All right, now we gotta look here. Why do we know? Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. One sec. Let me double check. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Okay, now we're good. I'm melting. You successfully looked up. Do 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 do. I got it to work. It just Python was being weird, and I didn't think I needed to check that. Do. Also, hey, Gnome. Sorry I didn't say hi. I was distracted. I wish, Shurin, I wish. It's only gonna work if you say A, Bunny. A3 is not an option, Bunny. They're all pinned. You can only do one thing at a time, everybody. One command. So A, B, start, select, up, down, left, right. You could! You did when you opened the stream, Bunny. It was there when you opened the stream. Here, I'll even pop this back up. There you go. There. Ba-bum-bum. You've gotta press A to get through the conversation, chat. Or B. I recommend B, because if you press A, you're likely to accidentally talk to her again. If you press B, it'll go to the next one without you trying to talk to her again. I'm glad you finally arrived here in Hoenn. I know, you're so excited to start your adventure as a... Pokemon trainer. You're so much like your father. Speaking of Dad, you should go meet him in Petalburg City. Well, for what it's worth with the yapping, is like if the chat's not fully over or things like that, you can usually do A, then B, and you just go back and forth. I just got this clock for room. Let's set it now. Mods do have a slight advantage here. Are we setting the time accurately? Or do I gotta chime in and go do-do-do-do-do? Do-do-do-do-do? Let's see what time I end up getting to before y'all end up ending it. Do-do-do-do. Do 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 do. Yep. You stopped me at 8:15. That's not far. We got pretty close. Ow! Hi, Taiga. Make sure to yell at your dad. I said hi. Only half, Taiga. Only half. I only ate half the panda. Alright, you're back to gameplay, everybody. I'm gonna eat a pickle. Help me! Hello, you over there. Please help! In my bag, there's a Pokeball. I do wonder, which, or if it's possible to use variables in this. I was expecting to see this. The fight over starters. But I would like to see if for A and B and such, if I can put asterisks as a, like a wild card. Hey, Finn. Because if I can put wild cards in, we could do like, just for the issue of people having trouble with like B and A, we could put an asterisk at the end. And then it could theoretically allow people to do A, B, B, and it would just press it once, right? I'll test it after the battle, though. Actually, you know what? I think now's the perfect time to try it. Boop. You have been paused. We're gonna go into our... We're gonna try this. Then we go down to A and B. Because those are ones y'all are gonna be spamming, right? So I am going to try A asterisk and B asterisk. And now that is running. So in theory, you should be able to say like apple, and then it should go forward. So I'm going to try typing apple. Okay, it didn't work. I tried to make it easier, didn't work. Task complete. Let me go and undo what I did. I'll have to look into it more to see if there is a way I can put variables in. Alright, everybody, you're back in control. You've got the reins again. Go beat up that Zigzagoon. It's all good, OBC. Why is Trico T-posing? I never actually asked this question before in my life, but Trico's just straight up T-posing. Like, his tail isn't even straight out. It's like, they saw a 3D model of Trico, were like, that's how they want it in-game. He's just straight up T-posing. His tail's even out. He doesn't even have, but like, he's not even... There's no battle pose here whatsoever. That would be, actually, that'd be really funny if they gave him sticks to hold. Just give Trico some sticks to hold. But no, to my defense, this game just updated yesterday because of the stuff going on in Python. So the reason it didn't work was a Python update that had happened literally yesterday. So it's okay. The problems I'm having weren't my fault. Da, 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 da. By the way, y'all, you now all have the ability to use, even if you're not subbed, you can use the Mari emote on my channel. I did it because I was getting annoyed with the YouTube chat version, because, believe it or not, I am live on YouTube as well. It's mainly for the VODs. I want to interact here. The interactions here are more important. But, the YouTube chat gets Mari's messages, but it was just saying Cameron for Mari in the chat message instead of showing Mari. But Better Twitch TV works on YouTube, so I worked on adding it there. Just because you were there, OBC, when it was a thing. I really wish this were Mixer, where there was the sub-second delay and the playable interface at the bottom of the screen. Because I would love to see y'all just playing this at the same time with the control pad and instant input. pickle's slightly off. I think it didn't get fully pickled. I was in the tall grass studying wild Pokemon when I was jumped by some hooligans. This is how it went the other day, OBC, is when I did this, is like eventually somebody takes the reins. You saved me. Oh. Oh. I do like the Pokemon font. And one thing I've got to like give credit to with the Pokemon font is they gave it all a drop shadow, and they really didn't need a drop shadow. Hi, you're Twitch. Yeah, Pokemon games having drop shadows on the text since the very beginning is just nice. It's nice to meet you. I'm not sure if the originals on the Game Boy had it, but at least the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color ones did. I study Pokemon here in Hoenn to gather as much information as possible. Someone like you would make a great Pokemon trainer who can help me by filling out this Pokedex. I would love this if I had like 100 people here just doing this. I think this would be funny if I did this like during one of the streams that Cleo ends up raiding into. Where it's like, good luck chat, let's see where we end up. It'll help me a lot. It's a gift for you. Twitch received a Pokedex. It should do capitals. It's not case sensitive. Good luck on your journey. And don't let the challenges ahead bring you down. Would you like to nickname your Trico? Hey, we won't get attacked. No nicknames means no attachment. Listen, they normally end up... They normally get named... Ah! Do, 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 do. Do, do. But yeah, I thought I had this, like, sped up before. No spaces. No spaces. Let me see if I can speed this up a little bit. I'm gonna pause for a second. I do apologize. There's a setting. Ignore message case, yes. Had that. Max Q, okay, here we go. Okay, I think this will help. I'm also gonna do a favor. I'm gonna do a favor. Okay, just because I know this is gonna be it's gonna be a problem for mobile viewers if we do the whole left and right thing, right? So I'm gonna go into the commands. We're gonna go up here, and then I'm gonna duplicate that, and I'm gonna add a space, and I'm gonna duplicate that, and add a space, and I'm gonna duplicate that, and add a space. I'm gonna duplicate that, add a space. So I am going through and I am adding in the missing spaces for the directions. So that way, if y'all do type them with a space, it'll still count. It's just gonna take me a second. Okay, file save. And run command. Okay, in theory, it should be faster now. So. Oh, I'm sorry, OBC. I hate that mess. Okay, y'all should be good now. Y'all are successfully connected. Y'all are able to go, and it should be faster. Yeah, that's faster. Do 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 do. Welcome to Oldale. Look at that, first town already. So for those who don't know, one of the main you gotta go you gotta go down one if you want to talk to that person. Because you gotta go in front of the house. There is a space behind the tree. Ow! Hi, Bweet. This is one of those few moments where I feel like I should do an on-screen chat. Let's see. Let's see. Will this work? Okay, I'm gonna grab that and copy that. I don't know why these are the colors it's decided it has to have, but... I think it's fine for now. There. There we go. Look at that. So now people can see who did the inputs. It's a very, very quick thrown option, but it's something, right? I can make it look better, but I gotta put things a little bit. You should probably grind some levels. That'd probably be smart. Let's make the text bold.
Do you have a fursona, Imoru 100? What is it? Mine is a Okapi. They are badass.
An Okapi, hey, one I actually know. I'm changing the font around. Well, I think the one thing you just gotta remember, OBC, is that if your character is changing direction, that counts as one input, and then another one will actually move you there. So it's worth remembering that your position changing direction matters. Valid. Okay, we don't want Fredoka Light. That doesn't work. Fredoka Medium would work. Let's get rid of the badges. Don't need those. I don't think we need pronouns for the overlay. And I'm gonna grab that. So it ignores Mari in the overlay. Do you have money? You start with like, I think 3,000? You start with a little bit. Go. That. Hey, Otter. No, that's fine. You don't need to know how. You can learn by watching, you know? You can experience this. Imoru is determined to get some healing items. There. Y'all can see the inputs during this. I'll rename that later to be better. But no, so the general idea here is collect the Pokemon, train them up by doing battles repeatedly, and then kick the other children's butts and adults that want to fight children. But yeah, you can't get Pokeballs yet. You've gotta train a bunch first. And the mini one will give you the EXP share after you get past the town to the west. Imoru is paranoid about To be fair, if we think about this conceptually, right? If we think about this from just a simple, like, game concept. The adults trying to fight the children, at least the ones that are just kind of trainers on the side of the road, are no different than, I feel, when we were younger playing, like, the Pokemon card game. And you would sometimes play against upper teens, young, like, even some adults and whatnot. As long as they weren't out there determined to destroy you or embarrass you, I think competing against adults is valid and fun. It's the problem when you got the adults who take it far too seriously and want to destroy every kid they're facing. Right? That's where the problem comes in. The bug in here. If you ate my ears and replaced them with apples, I don't know how to respond to that. I wish I could, like, humor the hypothetical, but I'm just confused. Bum, bum, ba-da-da, ba-da-ba. By the way, for those of you who watched my stream Sunday night where it went on for a very long time, but my audio seemed off, it's because all of my mic filters were off. That's why the game was too loud. That's why the music was overpowering me. My mic filters were disabled. Didn't realize that. Thankfully, those of you who watch the VOD, or if you want to watch the VOD, the volume of the music will be much lower and will not be overpowering. I do apologize to anybody who had to deal with that during. Hi, BB. Oh, do you need pet? You specifically came up here because you really wanted pet. Hi, buddy. Love you. Love you, BB. Love you, BB. Good boy. Bum, bada bum 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 bum. is Wingle.
Hi. You're such a cutie. Yes, you are. Hi, cutie.
He's a very handsome boy. But yeah, I wish I could add... I mean, I probably could add more variables on things, like... I don't know. It's kind of weird with, like, the A's. I don't want to do A2 or A3, because I feel like that would be something that would be done improperly and cause problems, but the directions work fine. By the way, y'all can play. Part of the fun of this is if y'all are competing with one another to do the inputs. Because mistakes happening is funny. So just letting one person play does work, but mistakes are part of the fun of this, right? Like, I can technically play, too. I can give Amaru the experience. Watch this. I can just go... Oop, I bumped right. Oop, I bumped left. Oop, right. Oop, left. Oop. 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 Oh. I hold power here. Da dun dun da dun da 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 da. Because I don't want to make I didn't want to make like L for left and R for right, right? Because those are technically buttons with the shoulders. And I feel like people typing those with the shoulders. Which I've disabled them for this, so technically L and R could work better for left and right. But I could relabel all of them to be like U, D, L, R. And then do like SL and SR for the other ones, maybe? I don't know. Trico grew to level 6! Speed increase is always good to have. Like, base stats going across the thing, speed up by 2. Nice to see. Ow. Oh, but you know, it's too hot for me to be playing games. So making y'all play them for me seemed like the right approach. I know it's not the most exciting thing to watch, but it also gives kind of a just chatting experience. So if y'all have any questions or anything that you'd like me to answer, you're more than welcome to ask them while we do this. Trico learning Absorb is actually really good. Because that gives you a grass move that heals. It doesn't do as much damage as your other ones, but if you're facing, say, a water type, like you just did, Absorb will do a lot more, because grass is super effective against water. Rather you not eat me. Rather not. But Absorb gives you a good advantage in those fights. Do, 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 do. And you turn me into an apple. Would I still be myself at the core? Oh, I didn't speed things up. You know what? Actually, options is important here. I'm gonna go in there myself. Speed that up. Battle scene on battle style. I believe shift is fine. Audio's not great. There we go. I think the rest is fine, though. I'll do that. I assume that was part of what you were kind of checking for, Amaru? Should go a little faster now. I don't mind messing with the settings for y'all. Feel like that's an important one to just kind of get going. Do 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 do. It's all good, Amaru. You're trying to move the moves around? Is that the goal here? Get absorb as the main move? If you're trying to do there. Time save. Just because complicated controls. Yeah, you can swap the moves around. You just go to their move list, choose one, choose the next one. Makes it a little bit easier. I'm gonna take the reins for a little bit till somebody starts playing. Then I guess we'll just train right here. Boo-doo, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. A Puchaina. Wow. Honestly, Absorb is pretty useful just because it saves on healing time. Oh, are you shiny hunting Whismer? Whismer, one of the Pokemon with a butthole. I only specifically know of 2 Pokemon with a butthole off the top of my head, and Whismer is one of them. Whismer and Bonsley. If there are others, chat, let me know. Do you know of a Pokemon with a butthole? I feel like one of the dog Pokemon surely has a butthole. Like, that's just... That's just, like, Japan and drawing dogs. Or cats, one of the cats. One of the dogs or the cats probably has a butthole. Yamper, does Yamper have a butthole? I don't feel like Yamper has a butthole. Yamper has a butt. Yeah, no, Yamper doesn't have a butthole, just a butt. Tiger, are you left or right-handed? So, try this one. You write with your right. Does that help? Is it something to embed in your brain? You're writing with your right? It doesn't do much, like, Absorb doesn't do much damage on most of these, but it does keep me alive, so. Yeah, I mean, that can help, but so you don't have to check. If you just remember you write with your right, it usually makes it a little quicker. But obviously, do what works for you. There's a popular Mario streamer slash YouTuber that I watch, and I don't think I've ever heard him get his left and right correct. He always has to correct it, so like some people just will always struggle with it. At least in tense situations. They know what they mean, but yeah. Now, see, here's the thing. I'm not gonna progress the story. I will play and grind the levels when y'all are in control, but I'm not going to actually progress any of the story. So that's kind of where I'm gonna put a line on what I will be willing to do. Welcome back, OBC. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, OBC. That sucks. I mean, valid there. Pokemon becoming stronger, you'll be able to go farther from here. Got it. When Pokemon battles, the one at the left of the list goes out first. So when you get more Pokemon in your party, try switching around the order. Could give you an advantage. Freckles. Okay, those would be called freckles.
I just noticed something. Og family smells like honey.
Well, there you have it. Mari has honey up her nose again. Do 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 do. See, I want to grab a snack. Oh, you know, it'd be kind of cute. I don't know how easy it would be for me to do. Freckles are anywhere on your body. It'd be kind of fun to have the like on-screen chat stuff, but have it every message pop up in kind of a different spot on the screen, like little floating bubbles going up from the bottom, rather than an on-screen persistent thing. I don't know how hard it would be for me to implement that though. Maybe I'll do that when I start getting Godot to work, because I feel like I'd be able to do that in Godot easier than I would be able to do it in like OBS. Oh. There appears to be a trapped fisherman over there. Me. Yeah, I really wish we had the old interaction that we had with Mixer, and just how quickly you could interact with a stream and input commands. It was so nice. Like, that's part of why I do what I do now to the level of interactivity I do now. It's not as active as it used to be. Like, it just doesn't work the same way. Energy drain. Level 9. In all the levels. Okay, let me heal. As I have helped y'all. I'm gonna go back up here and I'm gonna set down the controller. And now chat's back in control while I look at the photos. Oh, dang, OBC. I hope we can make it back. Bum 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 bada bum 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 bum. My foot is sore. My foot is sore. Everything is sore. I'm sore. Brr, 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 brr. Oh. Oh, big stretch. Big stretch. Oh. But yeah, I think it would be really cute. Like, I know there's a thing in stream avatars you can do where like speech bubbles will float up above the model's head when people talk. But I don't like the lack of like filters on that. Like, I think it's neat, but I'd rather just have like floating I'd like if I could change the text for stream avatars, because like if stream avatars had speech bubbles pop up on them, I don't want the words. I would just like to see like a little speech bubble with nothing in it, or like a little yapping emote saying that person's talking. Oh, I was just grinding because I'm not going to progress the plot, OBC. I'm not going to progress the plot. That's on you. I was just grinding levels for the sake of grinding levels, so that way something was happening on the screen. See, because that felt like more, felt a little bit more entertaining. Do 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 do. Because having y'all have to grind for levels, I don't think is gonna be a satisfying thing for Imoru had to go cook, so I decided, you know what, I'll just grind the levels. It's all good. Do what you gotta do. Like, I made the choice last minute. It's partially on me. Had I done this during a time where it would have been more appealing. It is interesting though. Like, I can apply this to any game. I can apply this to any game console. Anything I can play on my PC, we could actually make a interactive stream out of. I'm hungry. I'm hungry right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some chicken nuggets, which is really lame. But I'm curious if you guys will actually finish the thing with Wally before I go there, before I'm done. I'm back. They're heating up. Yay, snow! Congrats on home. Twitch Plays Minecraft is possible. I think the problem with doing that, though... I think what would be weird to have y'all play Minecraft is... I would have to do, like... Every... camera movement would have to be probably like 45 degrees. I'm assuming she didn't even say sorry about it. Which sucks, obviously.
Hi, BB. Hi. Hi, buddy.
Nice, Snow.
Hey, B. Hi.
I'm holding BB like a teddy bear. He's not a fan of it, but he is getting the attention he begs for. Mwah. Let's see, this Pokemon found on Route 103 includes... Nice, Amar. My name is Wally. My name is Wally. I'm just starting my journey to become a great Pokemon trainer. Huh? You're telling me you're just starting out as well? That's good to hear. I'm currently being mentored by a gym leader, so how about we both test our skills and have a quick battle? I can't lose. I don't know, I think that voice worked. Not perfect, but... Wally is a very lanky child. Wally also looks like Taiga. At least how I picture Taiga. The timing was weird. Timing was weird. But purely accidental. You will see Wally after this fight, Taiga. Absorb isn't that strong of a move, it's just useful for grinding levels, which I think is why Amoru wanted it to be the main move. Woo! Here you go, Taiga. Totally valid, OBC. But it should stick for the entire battle, is the catch, OBC. So if you use the move, it'll stay on that move for the battle until you pick a different one. Okay, here you go, Taiga. Pay attention. Player defeat a Pokemon. No! I thought I was ready for my first battle. See? It's you, Taiga. I need to go check on my nuggets. Fight done! I flipped them all. Did you see the pool? They flipped it! Oh? Gym leader Norman's your dad? Cool. He told me he was waiting for his kid to arrive here in Hoenn. Oh yeah! Since you're a starting trainer as well, these might be useful for you. Obtain the Pokeballs. Hope we meet again soon, Twitch. Wally is a kid that if he jumped off that ledge, he would break his ankle. I promise I'll be much stronger next time. He didn't give us a Ralts. Like, he is a frail, dying child. In the original concept art, he was supposed to get a Pokemon that actually held a spider that was, like, inspired by a spider lily. And then one of the fights with him is in a field of spider lilies. Like, that kid is dying. That kid is intended to die. They just removed the spider lily Pokemon. Alright, food's gotta be done. Hello! I'm back. With nuggets. Wow. Grabbing a plate. There was a clean bowl. right next to me. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna eat chicken nuggets out of a bowl with a fork. Because why not? Who's gonna stop me? It's my life, I do what I want to. By the way, I do want to kind of run over some of the things with my streams that have kind of changed or things that have been going on. And I'm sure many of you have heard this across all sorts of things. But if you did not know, this is my full-time job. Things have been really rough since the Streamloop sponsorships have gone away because they are collapsing as a company, which has kind of caused some income issues. So I have divided up my gold bars that are at the bottom instead of having them rotate through. They are now always on screen. We've added one that is called Stream Funding. And basically it is the amount I'm hoping to make per stream. Obviously, it was 25 per stream. I've redone it, so it's set to 38. So the halfway point between 25 and 50. In order to kind of encourage that, because I expect some streams are going to get none, some streams will get the goal. So putting it at the average between the two hopefully will help a little bit with that. But if I hit that combined with the Twitch subs and things like that, I should be okay. That is the hope. So that is why that is there. You can also support me by buying stickers. Obviously you get something in return. It's about $10 with shipping and all that stuff for the stickers. And I get about $2.50 from those. So if you want to do that and you get something for it, that is an option. There's also Streamloops cards that allow you to directly interact with things. I'm looking for more ways to make the stream more interesting, do stuff like that. play more games that y'all want to see, play more Minecraft, play more of that stuff. But I can only get so much with mental health and the heat waves and all that stuff. So, but I just wanted to kind of fill you all in on that. If you ever have any questions about how things are going, what things are up to, all that stuff, feel free to ask. Also, on Throne, you can help me pay off my PC. I've only got 2 months left. Thanks to a very generous donation, we are only $400 away from paying off the thing entirely. I need 200 more by the end of the month for it, though, which I do technically have, but I also need to pay taxes on taxes in general. So there's a whole balancing thing going on and trying to sort everything out. But I figured I should be very clear about everything and just make sure everything is known. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. I do hope this heat wave ends very soon. Will it get nicknamed? Yes. Now here's where I have fun. Do we see it? Oh, female Wingull as well. Will a name be supplied? Well, I'm not typing. This is on y'all to type it. Like, y'all are actually controlling the game right now. So if you want her name to be Gulliver, you gotta try and type it. Bum-ba-da-ba-dum-ba-dum. I'm always waiting to see if anybody presses any letters. So it only goes up to 3, Ella. So if you want to do it, it only goes up to 3. I have to program every single number individually, and I'm like, 3 is enough. So you can do any direction up to 3. The letter A, the letter B, start or select. I think Amoru's just being a troll. If you're trying to cancel out of it, you just go, you enter a blank name. If you don't want a name at all, you enter a blank name. And it'll say, oh, you don't want to give a nickname? Tiger's going for Apple. Called it. The spirit is there. That's what matters, right? Apapapululula. I mean, it works. Apple the Wingle. I'm sorry, Apple the Wingle. Oh, I love it. Y'all did do a thing. I mean, it's better than the names you did last time. Last time you just posted complete gibberish. I've taken the control to heal you. Boop, 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 boop. Hi guys, taking over the billboard. Now you can go left to progress the story now. Just to be clear here, you can go left to progress the story now. What do you mean, Tyga? Like, what do you mean by decompiled? Like, in what context? Because it can mean a few things. But if I had to guess, I'm assuming you're meaning a game has been decompiled? Oh, what did I write in the billboard? Let me see, what did I write in the billboard? Oh. So, to be decompiled in the context I wrote it is talking about, a handful of video games have been successfully decompiled now, which means they have reverse engineered the code to allow other people to be able to run the game flawlessly on PC hardware because they fully understand the code. Like, has been reverse engineered, basically. You've been designed to run on a computer, or you've been figured out to completely run on a computer. I like that it says you're in Petalburg. It doesn't even say the route. You can, Tyga. Congratulations. Ba 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 da ba ba ba. Now, to be clear to everybody, anybody is able to play right now. All you gotta do is type in chat. My overlay widget for chat is messed up though. I'm gonna be really annoying for a split second. Okay, there. Should be back. Have a good one, OBC. Appreciate you. I had to remove the on-screen chat showing my own messages. Honestly, getting the Wingull was a good choice. I don't like Wingull. I end up finding this gen to be the hardest if I try to catch only Pokemon I like. I don't like Wingull, but I think this one added Surskit over in this area, so I think I would end up grabbing Surskit. But I think it was more that I think it wasn't the water type that was the issue here. It was that I needed a flying type, and like Wingull is the starter bird here, and Wingull is not a great starter bird. Like, there's not. I don't think this gen has a lot of good birds. I think is what it is, right? Like, let me see. Gen 3 bird types. What do we got? These are. None of these are showing me bird types. Oh, okay, I see why it's confused. Bird is actually a type in the code that is not used. It's only in Gen 1 and 2, and it's not used. So there's a weird overlap in the searches. Good luck, Taiga. I appreciate you. Flying type Pokemon, let's go. No. But no, I'm saying bird is a type that is in the code. But it's an unused type. Okay, so Gen 3. That's Gen 2. So Gen 3 has Halo and Swellow, which are meh. Wingull and Pelipper, meh. Masquerain, meh. Ninjask is cool, but it's also a bug, which means you're weak. Swablu, which you don't find for ages. Tropius, Salamence, and Rayquaza. Like, it's such a short list. It's such a weirdly short list. Well, and I believe Swablu is late game because isn't Altaria dragon type? So it's mainly that dragon types are always just late game. Hi, Fury. Hi. Hi, buddy. Fury and BB are both right by my left hand. Hi, old man. We need to trim some of that fluff again. You don't like being groomed. The best we can do is get rid of these little spots you won't clean. Yeah? You okay with that? Ooh, I'm sorry. Here we go. Get rid of that top. No, buddy, that's not for you. That's not for you. You smelled my food bowl. He has sore hips. He's always had kind of strained hips, so he's feeling it. Fury, no. Oh, Fury, over here. Over here. Lay over here, bud. But as he's getting older, his hips are getting weaker. Technically, Gyarados would be an upgrade to Wingull, yes, but Gyarados is kind of a weird spot of I feel like with... Okay, I like Gyarados, but I hate that if I ever get Gyarados, because of Intimidate, I feel like I end up becoming over-reliant on Gyarados, where I just use Gyarados. Because of Intimidate. Intimidate just makes Gyarados so useful. And because of that, I end up only ever using Gyarados. So I try to kind of, when I can, make a rule for myself to just not use Gyarados, because becoming over-reliant on Gyarados isn't good. Like, it's not that Gyarados is bad. I have nothing against Gyarados. Gyarados is too useful in the games.
Snowmeth, now that we're such good friends, we should get matching tattoos.
Tattoos.
What should we get? It can be temporary if you want.
Fury is very grumpy about being fat. That's fine, Taiga. Just watch the screen. Just don't type, just watch the screen. That way there's not much happening, and then you have something to focus on. Right? Like you don't have to actually be unconscious. Just watch the screen. Just tell yourself you're not allowed to touch the phone, you know? Yeah, that's fair too, Snow. But like, Gyarados is at that point of like, well, I've weakened their attack, so what are they gonna do? And then you get Dragon Rage and you just do 40 every time and you've got a guaranteed damage attack, right? Like you're kinda set for quite a while with Gyarados. What the heck? When did Blue Sky change add the videos tab? When did this happen? There's just a separate tab for videos. But media includes it. I really need to get myself to do more art streams. I love drawing, but I haven't been actually like putting the time into it because I don't feel this is the thing. One of the things with my art streams, and I know y'all don't have anything against them, but I find them to not be profitable. Though I guess I need to kind of consider the fact that none of my streams have really been that profitable lately. So I need to worry less about the interactivity aspect of it. But I'd like to have some sort of like on-screen game similar to how we've got this right now that could be played on the screen and not just have y'all doing art. So like if y'all wanted to be playing the game, y'all could. But I don't think Pokemon is good for that, you know? Like Pokemon works as an option. But I'd love to have something that could be played in the corner of the screen while I'm doing art. And then you all get to just participate doing that. Rusty's retirement and stuff works, but I feel weird about those games in general because of the way they kind of go. You're not really playing, you just set it up and then you wander off. I want something that's a little more interactive, something that because I can, like I said, like, you guys have full control over Pokemon right now, right? I'd like a game that I can give you all full control over. So I don't know if there's, like, a good Game Boy Advance game, or maybe a Game Boy game that somebody's made let's see. I made let's see. I made an idle GBA game. Let's see. Do we get any results here? It looks like people are making Game Boy Advance games. Like, somebody made a really cute little idle game called Sips, and you run a cafe and you can upgrade the cafe. But the problem is it doesn't save, which I would like to save it, but it is neat to see. But yeah, apparently there was a game jam a while back where it was Game Boy Advance games, so... But, like, the problem is, like, I need to pick one that would work really well for y'all to play. That's part of why I really want to learn Godot. Is I'd like to be able to do things in the overlay. Like, what if, like, in the overlay, I built Space Invaders? Like, during screens or whatever, y'all could just, like, do a Space Invaders thing and move the cart left and right. Everybody gets their own and can fire up during break or something, right? And there's stuff to shoot. Or... like, in the overlay, occasionally things would fly by and you could launch a homing missile if you timed it right and you had to get it within so many seconds, right? Like, there are options there that I'd like to do, but I want to learn Godot, replace my overlay into that, have everything affected by, like, web requests, stuff like that, so it triggers properly. But then the whole overlay could just have those little bits and pieces that would be interactive bits that would still allow you to interact with things even when I'm busy doing other stuff, you know? I think would be a lot of fun. Like, the breakout thing would have to be, like, stuff that isn't interfering with the screen, because I think that would be a bit of an annoyance. But, like, even if it's just, like, on the side of the screen where I am, or maybe there's, like, a Pong game going on at the bottom occasionally, or random events can trigger depending on the Be Right Back. Maybe there's, like, a Dig Dug minigame that pops up in the bottom right corner, and chat can play it. Like, I want stuff like that, where there's just this little bit of y'all getting to be a part of it, you know? And it's... I think that's part of the thing, is I'm limited by what I can do right now with Mix It Up and OBS. But I don't need to be limited. And that's what I'm trying to break free from. So that's one of those things. There are fishing games that I've seen for that, but I'd like y'all to be in charge of the fishing, right? Like there's like Twitch fishing, blah blah blah, that exists. I don't like it by its default design. I wish it had better options. But yeah, a little fishing game, things like that. Cause like one of the fun things that I want to do with like the stream avatars. Imagine if there were like little puddles that you could fish creatures out of. And then we could add creatures to the environment of the world that we've got. Or, like, we could have, like, fireflies that are out, and then at night, if you're paying attention, you could catch some of the fireflies. And all it has to be is, like, a simple, like, oh, you only get 1 per day-night cycle, right? And you could do exclamation point fish. And it's like, oh, you've already fished today. Try later tonight, and then you could fish then. Or try during sunset, and you can fish then, right? And like give you some options to. So that way, it encourages you not to like spam fishing, but like every once in a like that would be a way to encourage people to keep Twitch from counting them as not there. If like they could only redeem it like every 10 minutes per person. We go, oh no, I'm here, I'm fishing, or oh no, I'm here, I caught a bug, and it gives you those options, right? I think would be really, really, really fun. But I've got to get some stuff sorted for that. Well, it wouldn't be apples. We're on an alien planet. We could have fruit trees, but we could make them look like apples, but they're not apples because this isn't Earth. So we got everything's fantasy here. We got to make up our things. Could be an Elpa. Rumples. But no, I think there's fun options. I think we could figure out a lot of neat stuff. But we've got to get to that point, and I've just got to get myself to actually focus, start learning Godot. The problem was like early Godot had a lot of I always forget what it's called, but the puzzle piece-based coding where you just lock pieces in had that as an option. They removed it. And I wish it was still there because that's easier for my brain to understand if I can just drag and drop and lock pieces in. If I can't do that, my brain kind of trips up, and it's a real annoyance. It's like, I know it's a me thing, but it helps my dyslexia handle it better, right? Ooh, you've just given me an idea, Moru. Imagine a bell pepper type, a bell pepper looking fruit, right? With the same thickness of flesh, but it actually has more of a an apple-like flesh in it, and an apple-like skin. But it's hollow, and then it fills up with juice. That it converts the rain into the juice. And stores it, and then when it's full, it falls off the tree. And then you've got basically a water balloon fruit that you could break into, similar to like a coconut. Or actually, I think shape-wise, you do the interior like a pepper, right? Like a bell pepper, but shape-wise you do something like a pear, and then it would start out as a small like berry shape, but as it absorbs more and more, it would get bigger and bigger, and slowly the weight of it would turn into like a pear shape. It would expand into that shape, and you'd get like a balloon kind of going on. I think that would be a really like neat fruit idea. The thing is, like, stuff like that would be very hard to show off unless we start making. I'd feel like I'm copying Taijiro here, because Taijiro has a Monsterpedia, a bestiary for his streams. For like all the creatures people can find and people can summon the like descriptions of them. But I think it'd be really cute to have a little like a collection dex that when people collect things, it can pop up with that info. And then maybe as y'all unlock new things, I could add them to my webpage. Give the webpage its own dex, and you could flip through it about the number that are unlocked. Then the question, I guess, becomes, can I figure out a way where I could code the site to update automatically to detect the numbers that are collected on stream. So if y'all collected so many, it would go like, oh, this many have been collected. The last person to collect one was this. The largest one was collected by this person. That would be interesting. I assume I can. I just got to get the right permissions to it. I can move water gun for y'all between the fights, because I know how long it takes y'all to do that stuff. I will swap them around for you after this fight. But yeah, I think it would be really cool if I could set up a Dex, right? That would update on the website, and then y'all could go to my website and actually, like, check the Dex if you wanted, and see that info and go, oh, okay, here's this. Or, cool, I got the high score, I collected the best one, and then that would encourage people to, like, actually actively collect the things. And, because that's the thing, the hardest thing is getting people to want to actively interact with the chat regularly, so that way Twitch continues to count them. Because if you didn't know, if you don't interact with the chat for, it could be 20 minutes, it could be 5 minutes, it just depends on how Twitch is feeling that day. But if you don't interact for so many minutes, Twitch will stop counting your view. I think it's based on the amount of traffic the site's getting. So the more traffic the site is getting, the faster it drops off your numbers. Pure speculation, but I think that's what's happening. Because I noticed the numbers drop off at a higher rate on weekends. And now it is possible that people are jumping streams entirely, but I think it might be related to that. Okay, let me change the thing for you. Go there. Oop. Summary. There you go. Oh, save too? Okay. Boop. Bum, 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 bum. There you go. We aren't busy enough where I would go, oh, here, like, if this were a busier stream, I wouldn't be doing that stuff. I'd let y'all kind of struggle through it as a group, but with it just being y'all and it being very slow and whatnot, I think it's fine to have that little bit of a swapping back and forth.
Ernie, that child's running into the wall again!
But yeah, I'm just trying to think, because, like, getting high scores and recording that, even, actually, I guess, I don't need it to update to the site. I could just say, you collected you've got the high score for the largest one, and then it would add it. It would just have to compare to the number on it and go, is this number higher than this number? Write the name of the person who did it, and then write the name of the person as a separate line. So just checking the line for the high score. That's not impossible to do. It could also be interesting, because with stream avatars, I can revoke items from people. So in theory, I could take items and give items. So if there was like the person in first has this, though I wouldn't be able to take it from the person if they're not there. Well, no, maybe I can. I think I can. Yeah, that happens, Saga. Well, there's no gym for a bit yet, Snow. But you've got to go to another town. You need to go through the forest and stuff to the northwest. There are trainers to the left. Like there's trainers there's 2 trainers by the water, but you need to go up through the woods. Wild Puchaina. You can't. The gym is Norman. You can't fight your dad until you have 3 or 4 gym badges. He won't let you. I can't remember if you have to have 4 or if he's the 4th gym. I know 4 is the number. I just can't remember which one it is. I think it's after you have 4 badges. Yeah, the one thing I will say to people playing this, if you've never played Pokemon, and I know there are a handful of people here who haven't, is don't be afraid to let your Pokemon faint. They'll gain experience up until the point of fainting, and then it'll just switch off to the next one. So you don't have to switch your teams. This is not a Nuzlocke where if they die, you have to agree to not use them anymore. Well, I think the idea, Imoru, is that if your first gym badge were your dad's, I don't think anybody would respect you as a trainer for having that badge. Like, oh, you got a badge from your dad? Okay. Like, you know, it's just kind of a situation. Like, I don't think you would really respect that. But yeah, you can't do the gym yet. But yeah, so you got the fisherman and the kid down and the youngster down there on the left. You can fight both of them. And then there's a woman to the northwest that you can also fight. She has and then she's right at the entrance to the woods. Maybe I'll try this tomorrow morning just to see how it goes. Totally fair, Snow, but apparently it's the most popular one for ROM hacks. But yeah, north of that woman, you go into the woods. I need to go through the program a little bit more to see if there's a way I can add variables, though, so you can type, like, AA should still count as pressing A and stuff like that. Kid's moving too fast. Yeah, up one doesn't work. Left one doesn't work. Up two is too far. Down two, left, left. Down two, left two. Too far, Amaru! Jerry, I wish you'd lay still so I can trim your fluff. Because you're overheating, you're old, you're not able to groom. Let me trim the fluff off. Yeah? You okay, buddy? I love you too. I love you too. But yeah, it's so hot, and because the temperature keeps like swapping around. Amaru, go up one space, so do up two, and then left two. The kid will see you and interact with you. There you go. Get that little knot you had under your chin. Yeah. Grumpy boy. See, the thing with Fury is he is very sensitive, like, physically. Like, you know how people talk about, like, whisker fatigue? He has a lot of whisker fatigue. He's always had it. So, he doesn't really like bumping anything. If you bump his whiskers while petting him, he will get extremely irritated very quickly. Like, it just doesn't feel good for him. You got lots of undercoat that you haven't been shedding, so you're getting really hot, huh? We got it. We gotcha. Yeah. You're good. You're a good boy. Good boy. Just trying to remove a bunch of his undercoat. Yeah, there's so much shedding. Everybody's shedding a bunch because of the heat the temp changes. Not great. Hard to stay cool with that going on, huh?
Snowmeth, now that we're such good friends,
You are determined
we
to
should
get that
matching
tattoo.
tattoos. What should we get? It can be temporary if you want.
Isn't this a trainer Pokemon? Oh, potions. I gotta sneeze! I'm okay! One sec, I'm learning about a very concerning individual. Need to deal with it. But, I want to double check to make sure I get rid of every instance of this person. You can fight the fisherman, yeah. You talk to him. Yeah, no, I'm trying to make sure this person is not able to exist in any spaces. But apparently somebody is going around Hermitcraft and Hermitcraft adjacent stuff. And, let's just put it simply, posting some really screwed up fan art and requesting people send them photos of things, and it's not good. It's not good. With reporting their account, all that fun stuff, and yeah. They're main tagging hermits and stuff with offensive artwork. Offensive is me saying it lightly. Just yeah. I am going to summarize this simply for anybody who has been in my community long enough. If you are reminded of a certain problematic person we ran into a little over a year and a half ago, that level of bad. So, yeah. Yeah. As far as I'm aware, they don't have a Twitch, but they are joining different hermit communities, Discords, and being more of an issue there. Cleo's is private, so it won't be an issue there, but... I like the idea of calling it a forest when it's gonna be like 4 trees worth. Like 2 turns and a Pokeball hidden on the ground. Really, bug types aren't going to be... Well, I guess bug types would give you an advantage against the grass types you'd find. I feel like you'd want a Wurmple for a chance to get a Beautifly. Because then if you have a Beautifly, you could get Psychic moves. Obviously, it's 50-50 which one you get, but I feel like a Wurmple is kind of the better... Like, getting a Wurmple, 50-50 for Cascoon or Silcoon. If you get Dust Ox, you end up with Poison, which is also still good against Grass. So I think a Wurmple is probably where you want to go. But you've still got to fight that trainer right before the entrance as well. But yeah, I don't think it's necessarily worth it to do... I don't think it's worth it to heal. I think you should just go to the trainer, fight. You lose, you lose. You win, you know? How's it going, Blaze? Blaze, you can play too. You have the power. Do-do, do-do, do-do. Do-do-do-do, do-do. Immortal, I know that's gravy and eggs, but from the zoom out shot of your food, all I see is 2 plates of cottage cheese, one with bacon on the side. Oh, you were playing, I can't remember the name of it, but it's very Journey colors, right? It's red and sand color, right? Legends of Sakar? Something of Sakar? Am I remembering it right? Heaven's Vault. I don't know Heaven's Vault. Ooh. Do you know what game I'm talking about, Blaze? I'm trying to find it. Chance of Sonar is what I was after. CHANTSOFSENNAAR. Chance of Sonar is the one I was talking about. Chance of Sonar is a language-based puzzle game where they've made up a language for the puzzles and you have to decipher the language. It's pretty cool. I've heard really good things about it. It's not one that I personally will play because I think my brain would melt. Like, I still want to return to Lorelei and the Laser Eyes and try that again. Because that was a lot of fun, but my brain's just been so overwhelmed with life that I kind of fell out of it. Blaze, take control! You gotta tell May where to go. Hi, BB. Do 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 do. Okay, bud. Bite your lip. It's just down. No numbers for down. Well, no numbers for 1. I guess is the thing. So you can do up, you can do left, right, but if it's more than 1, you do multiple. Bum ba bum bum bum. Blazing. Oh, it's beautiful. I love the competing over the same action. Methinks Blaze is trolling. What type gym leader would everyone be? I think this is an interesting one. I think this is an interesting question. Because there's always that question of like, what Pokemon would you have for where you live? Blah, 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 like thing that goes around. And it's like, logically, if Pokemon existed in our current world, what Pokemon would you have is kind of where this goes. So if I had a gym, given that I live in the Midwest, I'm more than likely looking at water and grass types. Water, grass, and ground, right? Is more than likely what I would have in my area. Maybe flying. But like water, grass, and ground are going to be the primary ones that would be in my region. So that would likely be the ones I get.
Shut up, Cameron. Look at me. Look at me. Shut up. You are the bug trainer.
You say that, Mari. You're half bug. What is your other half, though? Are you half bug, half normal? No, you're bug fairy. You're bug fairy. You're a bug fairy type. Do we have... What are the bug fairy... So you're like Rabambi. Cutiefly and Rabambi. Yeah, bug fairy would work really, really well. Like if we're talking if we could have any or any that align with us, bug fairy is definitely where I would go. But but if we're talking real life, I would still say I'd probably end up with grass, water, or ground. I think for me, given that I hate swimming due to my claustrophobia, I would probably be ground and grass. So we'd be looking at like Torterra and some base ground types and some base grass types probably would be my more probable ones. I think an interesting aspect, though, if we're to talk about Pokemon in general, right? If we're to talk about Pokemon in general, in real life, if we had the ability to stop evolution, I think we would stop the evolution of our Pokemon a lot more often than we wouldn't. Blaze, have you had caffeine? I think that might be your answer. You need caffeine. You could, if you don't want, like, soda or anything, you could try just having some tea. Maybe that would help. Pretty much, Blaze. But it's specific. You need a light stimulant. I believe you accidentally killed that worm. You just took it out in one shot. It was a crit, so you should be able to do that normally. Oh, it's a trainer? Okay. Hi, BB. Hi. Blaze, have you seen my music redeem? Have you seen my fancy new music redeem, Blaze? Did you just Sailor Moon? You just Sailor Mooned. Bravo. Here's one. But no, Blaze, I programmed this the other day, and I'm really proud of it. But it also, like, I added in last night, I added music notes to it, so visually, like, music notes pop up over everything, all that fun stuff. But I worked really hard on it. Fun fact that I learned today. Apparently, Gerard Way is a fan of Great God Grove, that he has brought 2 plushies from Great God Grove onto stage this past week. Greg's did a really cool one the other day. I do. And I want to be clear to everybody, when you see those notes, they are matched to where the note is on the scale. So it does do, like, left and right. Imoru, there's a secret item on the empty patch on the right side, as well as the one directly above you. Now it's directly below you. But there is a secret item in both of those spots, I believe. Must not be that one, but there is one in the bottom right one. The one by my knee. Not all of them, but there's secret items all over the woods. Here, I'll do a Pokemon themed one really quick. Once it decides to connect me back to chat. But no, I learned how. Well, I was like, it was suggested by Harlequin Actor. Harlequin Actor was like, "Hey, would it be possible to do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, probably. I can try." And then I did it in like 30 minutes. I managed to make that whole thing work in 30 minutes. Getting the notes to appear on screen was a little bit harder because I had to give them a position based on the note, but it worked out. It plays. It's automated. It's flawless, and I love it. But yeah, no, it's... I was having an issue when I was trying to program the notes to appear on the screen last night, because what was happening was that it was repeating notes for any of the rests. Yeah, I don't have flats. I didn't have the notes as an option with the pack of notes I found. I tried to find whatever I could. I may have just overlooked it, honestly. Maybe I do have flats. Can I add flats? Let me look. I've still got the folder open. I've got sharps. No, they didn't give me any flats. So I can't. I can only do sharps. Are they? I didn't know that. So yeah, I can only do sharps. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't have. I could only go off the notes that were in the note pack because I don't know how to make notes myself. So it was just a matter of like, here's what I have to go with, and I made all of the notes that currently exist work. But in the Discord, there is a submissions channel. If you would like to submit the music you have written so others can use them, there is a spot for it there under the community submissions folder on the left side for the channels. There's one called Musical Musings. You can go there. You can post the songs that you've written for others to use if they want to. Just trying to make them all available when we have good ones, so other people will get to have fun with them, right? Because otherwise, what good is it if you only wrote it once? Then you got to save it locally, and yeah, and that was the thing. I tried to make it so that random keys will still not be too jarring, because I knew that could overwhelm people too, right? Like, you don't want to overwhelm with like, oh, there's too much noise going on, or people are just jamming like a, because I think it still works, right? Like if I just do. It's not great, but like it works. I tried to make sure it wasn't anything that could get too annoying. It has a max of 32, things like that. And it's enough channel points that I don't think people will likely... The people who would be trolls with it don't have those points to like repeatedly be a troll with it. Worst case scenario, I limit the number of redeems somebody can do per day on it. But yeah, I need more fun ideas for interactivity. So it was nice to have something like that really added something simple as an interactive like bonus to everybody, right? Like, it's not this huge project. It's not this, oh, nobody can pick it up thing. It's like, nah, it's there. Oh, Phoebe, you're so cute. Ba-da-ba. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I wanted to make sure it wasn't too much. So, since you've been kind of gone, Blaze, I added it so... Oh, here. We'll start with this. All of the Streamloots cards have new art. Some of that art is available on sticker sheets. On my merch store. But now, every time a Streamloots card is played, it appears in the sky in the background. And then when it's no longer in the sky in the background, that means the card can be played again. So it's a way of showing the cooldown on the card without it being in the way. Like, it's a way to just have that kind of on-screen visual of, oh, hey, Melange is on cooldown right now. Yeah, it felt like a better way to do it than having it, having a meter on screen or just having to kind of guess. So if you're somebody who regularly uses Streamloots, you can go, okay, well, that card is still on the screen. And they're randomly placed, too. So when one of them gets played, it'll be, like, up on the top.
Clever hair.
Technically, I'm a jackrabbit. But no. But yeah, no, adding that in, putting things in different spots, worked around, moving things. I know. I was, yeah, sometimes. Silly old hair. But yeah, no, mine technically is. I was just being weird. But yeah, one of the things I want to do, I want to remake my overlay in Godot. I want to figure out how to do a fancy, nicer shader for the terrain. Then I want to recreate stream avatars down there. It's like step by step, but then I want to create more, I assume that's a texture thing, Blaze. Because hairs, I feel like, are going to be more muscle, like, muscular and gamey. Yeah. Because they're using their muscles more. The more the muscles are used, the gamier they get. Is my understanding of meat. I'm intrigued by your decision to train here rather than just go to the fight and see if you can win. I mean, if it were... Oh, you're after the wormhole, aren't you? You're just after a wormhole. Gotcha. The grass is 3 wide in the bottom right, so that'd probably be the best spot for you, because then you could move right, left, right. So that bottom right patch is going to be your best spot, I think, for doing a bunch. Making my way downtown. It's too hot. I need to take off my jacket. There we go. That's better. Hey, Blaze, pick a number 1 through 8. Oh my god! Oh, so close! So close. And no, I wasn't wearing a jacket, Snow. But I was making a joke about taking the jacket off of my model. You ran? You fool! Well, you didn't kill it. You can catch both! You can always just change them out. Yeah, there's a PC, it's the Porygon. The Porygon will allow you to trade. But yeah, this little patch should be the easier one, because you can do left 3, right 3. If you do left 3, right 3, you'll cover more ground, which will give you more of your moves in one message. Which would give you more chance to get into a fight by 30% more. Yeah. The works! Honestly, if I make this a community thing, it wouldn't be too hard to get to the Elite Four. But I mean, we aren't even at the first gym yet, so. I mean, Absorb shouldn't kill it. Absorb should not do enough to kill it. Because Absorb is a weak move. Grass is not super effective against Bug. Because it's funny. Yeah, see, it's not going to do much at all. Too many chefs spoil the galoshes, Double D. Sorry. Too many chefs spoil the galoshes, Double D. My head is snoring, make it stop. They don't though, Blaze. They don't. We've very much seen that is not the case. Let me see some random headlines. Blame my parents, Eddie. My mom says not to pick my belly button. Is it so much to be loved? Sarah will tell Mom, and Mom will tell Dad, and Dad will just sit there and watch TV! One plus one equals one on a bun. Maybe. That is right, son. A mind is a terrible organ to shovel. I love Edit and Eddie lines. Here, Eddie! Lots of hurt! Hold the onions! How can my feet smell if they don't have a nose? Our mom's girls! Eddie, carrots are good for your eyes. Can they dial a phone? Spending an extended time in female company can be mentally disorienting and physically confusing. You bet your sweet bippy I did. I'm not perfect on the impression, but I have the inflection. How's it going, Plasma? We're letting chat try and play. Ooh, Leaf 3. That's a direction. I will now inflict pain on you! What else we got? Can I get other ones? I need quotes. Shh! He is thawing logs, the little Dickens. Oh God! Just gonna name the Wurple Slur. Oh, Slur. Slurms Mackenzie! Slurmple. Slur. Ladies and gentlemen, come try a deciduous hello. An elephant never forgets, but I forget what an elephant knows. The number you have dialed is not in service. Bravo, Amaru. No! Oh, Blaze, have you not... Blaze, did you never watch Ed, Ed, and Eddie? Ed, Ed, and Eddie might be the best Cartoon Network ever had prior to Adventure Time. I think. They had some good ones, like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends was fantastic, but I don't think it holds up to Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Courage was really good, but again, I don't think it holds up to Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Like, Ed, Ed, and Eddie was just astounding. I feel like I should remind that by the time you get through the second town, you get the EXP share. So if you just power through with Trico, you don't need to swap to the other party members. You would just be getting them experience without going there. My condolences, Blaze. My head is snoring. Make it stop. I appreciate y'all messing with all of this. What else do I have the ability to take off? I can take off my nails. I don't want to take off my nails. Take off the chain. Take off the chain. I feel naked without the chain, to be real. Like, I feel very naked without the chain. I don't know what it is, but it feels wrong. You can also take off the earrings. And And the necklace. I mean, you've got a pretty important mini boss fight coming up against a severely undertrained person if you just go all the way to the right. Beep 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 beep. Beep 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 beep. Bam bam. Bum 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 bada boom. I mean, yeah, but Shroomish could also be in that top row of grass.
Without the chains you look like a shirtless furry with a collar on. Which is fine. If you're into that kind of thing.
Don't question what I'm into. Do 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. Also, after the things you were sending me on TikTok today, Blaze, I don't think you're allowed to critique the collar. Boop-a-doo-boo. Blaze was basically calling me an egg. The thing is, though, like, I'm already under the trans umbrella. You can't, like, call me an egg while I'm already under the trans umbrella. No, I wasn't talking about the My Little Pony thing, Blaze. Do I gotta look up what you said? It's too late for me to be a tall woman. It's not too late for you though. And I said, I'm not ready for that level of introspection. And you said, if every other game dev is an example, you'll figure it out about halfway through. That's you calling me an egg. An egg is essentially a term for somebody who is trans but hasn't realized it yet. As in they haven't hatched yet. All I wanna do is see you turn into a giant woman, a giant woman. All I wanna be is someone who gets to see a giant woman. Blaze, is that why you're dating a short man? I don't even know if he's short, but he gives off vibes of being short. Sorry, is that why you're married to a short man? I realize date is underselling it, though you should be dating too. You're not dating your partner, that feels weird. Average height, okay, wait. Average height for his race, or average height for men in general? Because those are two different numbers. He gives off 5-5, 5-6. Though I could see him being 5-8. Boop-a-doo-boo. And this is where I make the crude joke plays of, if you have platform boots that can kick his ass, every height is taller than your partner when they're down on their knees begging. That is not allowed to be quoted. Listen, it's 10:30. Were you called out for the quote part or what I said in general, Moru? Both of those could apply right now, and I don't want to pry. Okay, yeah, I thought I was giving a statement. I think when it comes to relationships, all healthy relationships that are not ace relationships are both switches. Because a true sub is the one that is always in control. And a dom is actually following the whims of their sub in a way that their sub would enjoy. But being able to respect both of your partners is a sign of being a switch. The problem with Slack Off is, like, Slack Off is super strong, but you need to get those super strong moves every other move because of Truant, if you're dealing with Truant. But it would be good to get somebody with fighting moves on your team. Right? Just Truant is a pain in the butt. For those who don't know what Truant is as a move, Truant means every other move, you don't attack. But I believe Slackoth has the highest attack stat of, like, any Pokemon. Well, the Slackoth line, I think, has the highest, like, attack stat, isn't it? It's just they're stuck with Truant. So you want to get the... You want to make sure you have high power moves with high accuracy. So that way you do double the damage, essentially. But you only get to do it, like, every other turn. Which also means Slackoth is very much the one you want to target if you've got charge moves. Like Hyper Beam or Solar Beam, things like that, where you'd be off a turn as well. It's also very good for, like, using poison moves and things like that. Or even powering up your own side. Like, you could every other turn... they'd be screwed against, like, Dive or Dig if you have that timed right. Where if you know which turn they're attacking on, you just Dive or Dig before them on that turn. You've got a huge advantage there because they can't touch you. So there are some major disadvantages to using them, but... Well, low special defense just means that it's really good to use fighting moves, right? Because isn't normal only really weak to fighting? Like, that's the thing. Like, their weakness is just fighting. Also, this is clearly going to be a Slack Queen. Because that is a female Slack Off. She's going to become a Slack Queen. Fair. Give a nickname to the captured Slack Off? Are we gonna manage it, Slack Queen? S-L-A-K-W-E-E-N. Slack Queen. This is just interesting to watch. I hate your spelling, Amaru. Because I would read yours as Slackwen. Slackowin. So this came up in a stream of my friend Melody the other day. Melody had a Guilmon, and we were trying to explain to them how to pronounce Guilmon, because they kept saying Ghoul, I believe is how they were going about it. And I was trying to figure out how I could write out Gil phonetically. And it was proving to be quite the issue, because there's not really, other than ghee, like butter, I had nothing to explain how to pronounce Gil. Smephany? Smephany. Fantastic. The Snow is trying so hard. No, it isn't, but it's funny to watch. Oh, we're going. Well, no, see, Snow, you've added an extra letter. You've added an extra letter here. Because you've already got the K sound. There we go. Yep. Now you gotta choose. Do you go U-E-E-N or do you go W-E-N-E or W-E-E-N? It's like we're going with Queen, which also works. I need to get a graphic of Lunatone to replace the moon when I'm playing Pokemon. I'll write that down. Reminders. Lunatone. Pokemon. Moon. There we go. Oh god. Oh god! I have the hiccups. They're already gone. I only had the one. I never get more than one. But I had them. I am immune to hiccups. Bunny just ended it? Bunny just coming in and trolling. Slackwood. Slackwood. Boo 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 boo.
If you take bug Pokemon to school, you get to be instantly popular.
Bug catcher James would like to battle. Because it's owned by Google, Blaze. And Google hates you. But, Imoru, if you bring in bug Pokemon to school, then, like, what other Pokemon is gonna make your, like, the teachers and stuff scream at you and scream your name and go, Imoru! Like, they know. They know. They will be screaming your name. Okay, see, here's the thing. This goes back to our logical Pokemon that people would have if the world were modern day world, right? We talk about like the issues of like which Pokemon people would have, and this is why I think a lot of people would be keeping their Pokemon from evolving. Like you would not see an evolved form of a lot of Pokemon due to space reasons. Like very few people would evolve a Turtwig into anything bigger. Very few people would evolve a lot of them unless they needed somebody to help. Like, you wouldn't really want to evolve a Machop into a Machoke or a Machamp unless you needed somebody around the house to do heavy lifting and stuff like that. You wouldn't be evolving your Skitty into a Delcatty necessarily because of the size. You're getting into scale issues. You're also getting into budget issues regarding food, things like that. The EVs fall under a lot of that same issue though. EVs are much bigger than you realize. Like an EV is the size of a medium-sized dog. That's still something to consider. An EV itself is fine, but the evolutions are fairly large. Right? Like an EV itself, you're looking at maybe the size of like a pug. But like the evolutions are at least 3 feet long. Not counting the tail half the time, you know, like they're fairly sizable. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like if you were to get, say, any water type, you need to have access to water. So unless you live in a region that has like a river, and that's why I was saying, like my region, because I do live near water, I could see myself being a grass ground or water trainer in my area, right? Like a grass ground or water trainer is something that's applicable to where I am, but would it be applicable for everybody? Like if somebody lived, say, 100 miles south of me, 50 miles south of me, would a water type really be feasible? Probably not. Right? So you've gotta worry about a lot of those situations. Well, I think in the case of Glaceon and Flareon, while that is a possible thing, that also depends on your climate, right? Are they mostly outdoors or indoors? Are you an outdoor person? Are you an indoor person, right? Those are things that come in. Flareon is not actually an issue regarding heat, though, to my understanding, Flareon can control its temperature. So as long as it's properly trained, Flareon may not be an issue on the heat. Jolteon, yeah, computers would be an issue. Flying types are a decent one, but once you evolve them, though, it becomes, again, it's a size issue, right? They become a lot bigger, and you have a lot more to take care of. And I think that's kind of the thing that people don't keep in mind a lot. Yeah, if you're going off like mills and stuff and steel mills, you end up with a lot more poison types, steel types, stuff like that. But I think it's like really interesting to think like what Pokemon would be in what regions, right? Also, OBC, just because you're near a larger city, you'd probably start seeing things like Revolrooms and things like that that would be local because you're in a more densely populated region, right? So you'd be seeing like the Revolrooms and the ones that are based on that. You'd see Colossals and Carcoals and things like that. Just having mines and stuff. But you're also in a farming region. So you would also probably see a lot of, again, grass and ground types from that. It's just really interesting to kind of think about like what would exist in each area, right? But like when people talk about like what Pokemon they have, I don't think they very often consider the sheer issue of housing the Pokemon. Because like people go, oh, this is what my team would be. It's like your team would be 2 Pokemon. Your team would probably be 2 Pokemon. Because the more Pokemon you have, the more you genuinely have to take care of. The Pokemon universe only works because the population in Pokemon of people is not very high. Like, there is a good active 1,000 Pokemon per person, which makes it okay. But it's an interesting concept if you consider like big cities and things like that do exist in Pokemon. But even their busier cities still are like less than 1,000 people in them, you know? Yeah, you can have there are those outlier ones, but you'd also have to consider those would be rarer. Are they really trained in your area? What are the things? You should definitely talk to those two people directly above you. I don't think they want to battle. I think they want to give you stuff. You should talk to them. I like filling my mouth with seeds, then spitting them out fast. Yeah, ghost types are another question. Which actually, I live in a region where a ghost type is fairly probable. Like, if you look up haunted places in the US, I'm in a very haunted region. So ghost types are pretty common where I'm at. If you lived in, like, say, like Massachusetts, or like Salem area, right? I could see Salem also having a lot of, like, ghosts and stuff like that, or psychic types. But it's like, you gotta kind of consider, like, what you'd be getting into, right? Yep. And that's the thing, you'd be getting... Now, that gave you bullet seed, right? I'm gonna do the nice thing. I'm gonna be nice. Because I believe you just got bullet seed. I'm gonna skip her ahead. Okay. If you don't pick berries for a while, they'll drop to the ground, they'll sprout again, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna help y'all out. We got bullet seed. We're gonna go here. We're gonna get rid of Lear. I think it would depend. I'd be more concerned about the guy running around in a trench coat with a whole bunch of drift looms. Or anybody with a hypno. But I think this is to the point, though. I think if we were honest about things, we would end up seeing there'd be a lot of permits for different Pokemon. Like, you would need a permit to have certain ones, right? Like, if you were somebody who had certain Pokemon, you would have permits. Like, certain types, like, honestly, you would probably need a permit to have a fire type or an electric type. Just in general, you would need a permit for those. Psychic types probably would definitely have a permit as well. Because of the risks involved with that, so... The #1 emotional support Pokemon is Esper and Hatenna. Those two are tied for emotional support. Esper and Hatenna. Yeah, dark types are probably case by case. I think what we'd probably be looking at is more... I think Pokemon would not be caught in the wild. I don't think Pokemon would be caught in the wild. I think we'd probably be looking at every Pokemon that people have being more like government-run adoption agencies, more like what we'd likely see with the Pokemon school in Pokemon Horizons, where you would they would interview you, they would go, this is a Pokemon we think would be fit for you, here is this, you have to go through our classes to get the Pokemon. In order to be able to be trusted with it, you get a trainer license. You would obviously have unlicensed people doing it, but I think that's kind of the big thing, right? You would be dealing with places that are licensed, and then you could probably go to a Pokemon breeder to get Pokemon as well. But I think the breeders, if we're talking from a logistics standpoint, breeders would probably be working with the government as a government job to get those specific Pokemon for people that they are seen as a good fit with. And then people who are deemed okay, mature enough, pass the courses. Like, I think we're looking at least like a driver's license kind of qualification here in order to even have one. And it being something that could easily be revoked by the government. Like, if we're talking like specific logistics of it, you would need to do certain things in order to be able to do that. I think even more than a driver's license, we're probably talking probably more like a semi-license, right? You have a right to have a Pokemon in your home, which is more equivalent to the driver's license. But in order to actually have your own and train your own and level your own, you're probably looking at a like 18-wheeler license, a transport truck license, things like that, where it's going to take more. Or even under the qualification of like a hunting license, things like that. where you definitely have to be permitted to do what you're doing. Because like, let's be real. Owning a Pokemon is owning a weapon. You are owning a deadly weapon. If you have a Pokemon. If we are completely honest, you would be owning a deadly weapon. So, regardless of the situation you are in, they're all going to take a lot. I feel like the one exception would probably end up being a Rotom, but they probably all have to be signed off and already be trained. Again, like a service animal, things like that, right? That's why a lot of the Pokemon are collaborative things and not owned. I mean, if we're looking at like Mr. Mime, Mr. Mime doesn't have a trainer. Mr. Mime just exists and lives there, right? We're not looking at situations where we're dealing with all that. But I'm going to wrap up, so I'm going to save, and I'm going to turn off the ability for y'all to control it. So you've now lost control. But we've been going for 3.5 hours. So I think it is fair to save there. But we will definitely continue more. I might do this tomorrow morning and just see, because I know Cleo should be back streaming tomorrow. So if Cleo is streaming, then I think we'll run off of that and see how that goes, because that could be fun, right? But I appreciate y'all hanging. I thank you all for playing along with the game, and also having the fun kind of semi-philosophical Pokemon conversations. It's always fun to have those. But yeah, it could be an interesting ROM hack, just kind of going through classes and things like that, and being trained, and then being assigned one at the end based on how you do. Yeah, well, that might be a thing too, Blaze. There might be like a requirement to have an Everstone on your Pokemon, like a legal requirement that you have an Everstone, or Everstones would be supplied pretty heavily as a thing and given out, and just like part of the collar that shows that it is a trained one, things like that. But I appreciate y'all hanging out. I had a lot of fun. I know it's one of our kind of less popular streams when we do these, but I think it was a good vibe. I'm gonna send you away though. Let's go watch some old TV with Roshan for a bit. Also, I want to point this out. Actual Pokemon don't have levels. That is a thing added as a game mechanic. Pokemon don't have levels in the show. Pokemon just eventually decide to evolve after training. So I think it's a little more kind of changed there. So if they were real, there would be no levels. But yeah, I appreciate y'all hanging out. It has been fun. I will catch you all tomorrow, hopefully. I hope you have a good one. That said, see ya. Love ya. Bye-bye.